Hello everyone, I'm Aratrika Bhaumik and I welcome you all to another episode of Quotes Today on LiveLaw, where we update you about all the important legal developments that took place across the country today. We will begin with developments from the Supreme Court and then cover High Courts and other subordinate courts. If you like our content, please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From August 29th onwards, after Justice Lalit takes over as the Chief Justice of India, 25 Constitution Bench matters will be listed before the concerned benches. The matters are not listed for substantive hearing, but for directions related to the completion of filings, indication of tentative time to be taken by the lawyers for argumentation, etc. The cases include the challenge to the Constitution 103rd Amendment Act 2019 that provided for reservations for economically weaker sections, WhatsApp's privacy policy, the plea related to Jallikattu, etc. The Supreme Court today allowed open court hearing in the review petition filed against the judgment upholding the provisions of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, that is the PMLA Act. A three-judge bench comprising Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana, Justice Dinesh Maheshwari and Justice C.T. Ravikumar passed the order allowing oral hearing in the review petition filed by Karti P. Chidambaram. It may be noted that review petitions are ordinarily considered in chambers and oral hearing in open court is allowed only in exceptional cases. The matter is slated to be heard tomorrow. The Supreme Court today reiterated that the Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation, that is the MMRCL, would be bound by its earlier affidavit which stated that no trees would have been cut or would be cut in the Aarey forest post the Supreme Court order dated October 7, 2019. During the previous hearing, the Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation had told the Supreme Court that no cutting of trees has been carried out in the Aarey forest region. The Solicitor General of India had informed the court that only trimming of certain branches were carried out and that no trees were cut. Today, while adjourning the hearing, a bench comprising of Justices U.U. Lalit, Ravinder Bhatt and Sudhashni Dhulia said that the Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation would be bound by the undertaking given earlier. The Supreme Court today asked the centre as to why it cannot call for an all-party meeting to determine the issues pertaining to freebies promised by political parties right before the elections. During the last hearing, the Supreme Court, while acknowledging the complex nature of the issue, had stated that the intention of the court is to initiate a wider public debate on this issue, and it is for that purpose that the constitution of an expert body was proposed. A bench headed by CJI N.V. Ramana is hearing a public interest litigation petition filed by BJP leader Ashwini Upadhyay seeking directions to the Election Commission to not allow political parties to promise such freebies. For more information on what happened in the Supreme Court today, you can watch our detailed video posted earlier, the link to which has been given in the description box below. The Supreme Court today agreed to list Siddiqui Kappan's plea challenging the rejection of his bail application in the Hathras conspiracy case by the Allahabad High Court this Friday, that is on August 26th. The Chief Justice of India agreed to hear the matter after an urgent mentioning by Advocate Haris Biran. In the special leave petition filed by Kappan, he said that the intention of his visit was to discharge his professional duty of reporting on the infamous case of the Hathras rape and murder. However, he was taken into custody on the basis of trumped-up charges. He has spent almost 2 years behind the bar. He was arrested along with other accused persons by the UP police in October 2020 while they were proceeding to report the Hathras rape and murder crime. The Supreme Court today has agreed to urgently hear a writ petition which raises the issue of technical glitches in the IIT-JEE mains examination this year. A counsel mentioned the matter before a bench led by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud and requested for urgent hearing ahead of the IIT-JEE advanced examination, which is scheduled to be held on August 28th. A Supreme Court bench led by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud will hear the matters related to the Board of Cricket Control for India, that is the BCCI. The BCCI has moved applications before the Supreme Court seeking permission to amend its constitution. When the matter came up for hearing before a bench led by the Chief Justice of India today, he pointed out that the earlier order in the BCCI case was passed in August 2018 by a bench comprising the then CJI Deepak Mishra, Justice A.M. Khanwilkar and Justice Chandrachud. Of the members of the previous bench, only Justice Chandrachud is remaining in the Supreme Court as the other two judges have retired. Therefore, the Chief Justice of India, N.V. Ramana, today told the Solicitor General of India that the matter will now be referred to by the bench led by Justice Chandrachud. The Supreme Court today reserved its judgment on a plea challenging the denial of sanction to prosecute Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath in a case alleging making of hate speech in 2007. The matter was heard by a bench comprising Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana, Justice Hema Kohli and Justice C.T. Ravikumar. The petitioner Parvez Parvaz alleged that Yogi Adityanath had made anti-Muslim hate remarks while addressing Hindu Yuva Vahini activists in a meeting held in Gorakhpur on January 27, 2007. He had challenged the decision taken by the UP government on May 3, 2017 to refuse sanction to prosecute the accused in the case and also the closure report filed in the case. The Supreme Court has directed the Jharkhand High Court to expedite the hearing in the Jharkhand cattle traders lynching case where two persons named Majlum Ansari and Imtiaz Khan were killed. The bench comprising Justice B.R. Gawai and Justice P.S. Narasimha stated that while they were not inclined to entertain the petition in the facts and circumstances of the case, however, they were of the opinion that the High Court of Jharkhand should decide the appeal expeditiously and in any case within a period of 1 year. The development comes after a special leave petition was filed against the Jharkhand High Court's judgment wherein the High Court had suspended the sentences of 3 of the respondent convicts and had released them on bail during the pendency of the appeal before the High Court. The Supreme Court has observed that the authorities are required to initiate proceedings within a reasonable period of time when no such period has been mentioned in the concerned statute. The bench comprising Justices B.R. Gawai and P.S. Narasimha quashed the show cause notices issued in the year 2002 against certain banks to explain certain transactions in the year between 1992 and 1993. Upholding Rule Sub-Rule 3 of the Tripura State Civil Services Revised Pension Rules, the Supreme Court has observed that the financial burden on the state can be a valid ground to fix a cut-off date for the purpose of payment of revision of pension. The bench comprising Justices M.R. Shah and B.V. Nagaratna set aside the judgment passed by the Tripura High Court that had struck down Rule 3 Sub-Rule 3. The High Court had observed that the rule is arbitrary and is violative of Article 14 of the Constitution and had consequently directed the state to pay the original writ petitioner the arrears of pension for the period from 2007 to 2008. Let us now start with the developments from other subordinate courts of the country. A Delhi court today acquitted one Dinesh Yadav of all charges in a case concerning the 2020 Delhi riots by observing that his identity as a member of the rioters' mob was not established beyond all reasonable doubt. The complainant had alleged that on February 25, 2020, his house was put on fire by a rioters' mob after committing robbery, thereby inflicting a financial loss of Rs 10 lakhs. The additional sessions judge acquitted Dinesh and observed that the photographs put on record by the prosecution were not supported with the requisite certificate under Section 65B of the Indian Evidence Act. The Gujarat High Court has upheld the acquittal of an accused under the POCSO Act on the ground that the victim's allegations were unreliable and contained several omissions and contradictions. Pertinently, while dismissing the state's appeal, a bench of Justice S.H. Vora and Justice Rajendra Sareen noted that at the time of the alleged incident, both brothers of the prosecutrix were at home, but yet she did not shout for help. The bench also found that the victim's birth certificate showing her to be a minor was only obtained after the registration of the FIR, thus casting a doubt on her age. In an important development, the Kerala High Court today stayed the Sessions Court order granting anticipatory bail to writer and social activist Civic Chandran in a sexual harassment case while hearing a plea moved by the state government challenging the bail order. In a controversial ruling that caused widespread outrage, Sessions Court Judge S. Krishna Kumar had held that the offence under Section 354A of the Indian Penal Code that criminalizes outraging of a woman's modesty would prima facie not be attracted if the complainant was wearing sexually provocative dress. Justice Kausar Edapagat of the Kerala High Court today remarked that the observation of the lower court that the offence under Section 354A of the IPC is not prima facie attracted if the woman was wearing sexually provocative dress cannot be justified. The High Court further observed that it appears that there is an improper exercise of jurisdiction by the Sessions Court and that irrelevant materials had been relied upon by the Sessions Court while granting anticipatory bail to Chandran. For more information on the ruling, you can refer to our detailed video, the link to which has been given in the description below. The Madras High Court today has granted interim injunction to Minister Senthil Balaji in his plea against the defamatory allegations made by YouTuber Shankar alias Savuki Shankar. The Madras High Court has constrained to remark that persons belonging to the LGBTQIA+ community have been sidelined from the main society for a long time, and it was high time that the government gives priority to implementing rules and policies for them. The remarks were made by Justice Anand Venkatesh after the state sought 6 more months to come up with the final transgender policy. This process has been going on for more than a year, and it is not known as to why 6 more months time is sought for it to bring the transgender policy and the rules under the 2019 Act to come into effect, the judge remarked today at the outset of the proceedings. The president of Advocates Forum for Social Justice, K. Balu, has moved the Madras High Court seeking to constitute the 9th National Commission for Backward Classes and to appoint chairperson, vice chairperson and members in the commission. The plea moved before the High Court also seeks to set up state regional units of the NCBC. When the matter was taken up today, the bench of Chief Justice Munishwar Nath Bhandari and Justice N. Mala adjourned the case by 6 weeks, directing the Union Ministry of Law and Justice and the Ministry of Appointments and Appointment Committee to file their counter affidavits. In connection with the appeals filed seeking restoration of alleged temples in Delhi's Qutub Minar complex, the Archaeological Survey of India, that is the ASI, has opposed an intervention application filed by one Kunwar Mahendra Dhwaj Prasad Singh seeking right over the territories running between the river Yamuna and Ganga from Agra to Meerut, Aligarh, Bhubaneswar and Gurgaon. In the response filed by the ASI, the authority has argued that the intervention application deserves to be dismissed for the reason that Singh has not specifically claimed any right in the appeal and that he has no locus standi to be impleaded as a party. ASI has further contended that Singh claimed rights for far and large vast areas in several states. However, he was sitting idle on it for the last 150 years without raising the issue before any court. The Bombay High Court today has directed the Maharashtra State Wrestling Association to appeal the sudden dissolution of its elected executive committee led by NCP Chief Sharad Pawar before the Wrestling Federation of India, that is the WFI, within 10 days. A division bench of Justices S.V. Gangapurwala and Madhav Jamdar further directed the president of WFI to decide the appeal expeditiously within 30 days from filing. The court recorded the statement made by WFI's counsel that an earlier undertaking not to declare fresh results for the 24 posts of the executive committee has been maintained and would continue till the appeal was decided, and 10 days thereafter. The Kerala High Court today stayed an order of the Special Court for SC/ST, that is the Prevention of Atrocities Act, Mannarkar, cancelling the bail granted to 12 of the 16 accused in the lynching case of tribal youth Madhu, accused of stealing food in Adapadi in February 2018. Justice Kausar Edapagat stayed the lower court's order till 29th August, that is coming Monday, on an appeal filed by two accused persons, Marakar and Radhakrishnan. Thank you. Keep watching Courts Today on LiveLaw for more such updates. If you like our content, please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you tomorrow.